Howdy folks, welcome back to Scott's Automotive Corner, where I explain in as simple terms as possible things you may have heard about and or wondered about in the automotive and mechanical universe. In this first set of videos, I'm talking about power adders, and today we're going to talk about turbochargers. So get ready while I explain everything I can as simply as possible about turbos, aka spinning boys, aka turbskis. Get ready for the video. Okay, so like I said, in this video we're going to talk about turbos or turbochargers. Now, before we get into that, we're going to review what an internal combustion engine is, whether it's diesel, gas, or compressed natural gas or something like that. It's basically a big air pump. It takes air in, it compresses it, it makes an explosion either with a spark plug or just spontaneous combustion, and then pushes the air back out. So what does a turbo do? Well, basically a turbo puts more air into the engine. The more air you have, the more fuel you can put in, the bigger explosion you get, the more power. A turbo is different from, say, a supercharger in that it runs from the exhaust. Picture a pinwheel like you play with as a kid. When you blow on the pinwheel, the little fan spins. Well, basically that's what a turbocharger does. It takes exhaust, the air coming out of the engine, and spins a little fan like a little pinwheel. That's connected to another fan which takes air and compresses it and packs it into that engine. More air, bigger explosion, more power. It's just that simple. Now in recent years it's become popular to use two turbos. In case maybe you're old enough to remember some cars that were turbocharged in, say, the 80s or early 90s, like Turbo Mustang or Thunderbird or any, you name it, Porsche maybe even. Turbos kind of lagged until they suddenly came on power because it takes time for a turbo to compress enough air. Well, now automakers have gotten more smart. They've gotten smarter about how they do it, and they use two turbos. They'll use a smaller one which can spin faster, and they'll use a bigger one which can make more air. So that's how and why they've become so popular over the past several years, for probably at least 10 years now, that they've really become popular. And like this little car here, this Ford GT, it uses a smaller engine, and that's what's popular about turbos. They can use a smaller engine which is more fuel efficient, but when they want the power, a turbocharger will make that power. It'll put more air into a smaller engine, bigger explosion, more power, and that's it. A turbocharger is just a pinwheel like you play with as a kid, except that it's two pinwheels put together. Again, more air, bigger explosion, more power, and that's it, folks. It's just that simple. That's all we want to do is put more air into that engine, make a bigger explosion. So in simple terms, that's what your turbocharger is. Just a big air pump for the big air pump that is your internal combustion engine. I hope you've learned. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'll see you next time.